challenge to making a roast chicken dinner, whether for Christmas or otherwise, is ensuring that you get all the food to the table at the same time. The key to that is preparation. As long as you wash, peel, chop, line up all the ingredients you need for your sides, it's easier to do it while the chicken is in the oven roasting. You have 2.5 hours, everything is ready, all you have to do is assemble. So let's start. I'm going to start by preparing the chicken while the oven preheats. I've set the oven to the highest setting because this is going to go in and get blasted in the heat. This enables a crispy skin later. 2 stages to this. One is a layer of fat and herbs that go under the skin, and the other is going to go inside the cavity. So the elements that we are using is fennel to create an aromatic environment, the orange inside the cavity for the Christmassy feel, fresh garlic chives that are seasonal in India at this time and are so tender and fragrant and yummy, thyme, butter, salt and pepper. That's it. So I'll start by making the garlic thyme butter. So take a nice big blob of butter at room temperature. Be generous. The more fat the better because it really crisps up the skin. Don't worry about your calories here because the extra fat's just going to drain off into the pan and it's your choice if you want to use it or not. Of course, I'll be using mine to make gravy. I'm saving all my bits, including my peelings of my vegetables earlier, because I am going to be making my own stock later. Okay, give that a nice mix. A little bit of salt and pepper. This layer is going to go under the skin of the chicken. The fat is going to help the chicken crisp and the herbs and seasoning is going to flavor the meat. We begin by lifting up the skin and sliding a finger in carefully to separate the skin from the meat. Do remember to pat the skin of your chicken dry, which I've already done. Moist skin doesn't crisp as easily. In this process, don't forget to keep on washing your hands in the interest of food safety between each stage because you're handling raw meat. Right, I've washed my hands. Now it's time for the next stage. So take the orange and just lightly scour the skin to release the oils. I am going to be using the juice of this orange in my gravy later. Let's take the garlic cloves, halve them, fold over and push into the cavity right at the end. Then the orange and the rest of the garlic. Kind of making a sandwich so we have even flavors throughout. And last but not least, just the outside of the chicken, a light massage with butter, salt and pepper. First the salt, light dusting of pepper and the butter. I like to do this by hand so it's proper massage. Make sure you have the right quantity so you're not, again, touching, washing, touching. You just go with this whole amount, whatever you have. All done. Time to wash your hands and get the baking tray. I've already prepped my baking tray, lined it with foil. Of course, shiny side up because we want the heat to reflect and cook the chicken nicely. The fennel I'm going to arrange, like I said, just for an aromatic environment. Just tear it up roughly and then they just pop out. I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil over the fennel. Time to add the chicken. Slide it off and onto the bed. The chicken goes in the oven now for 10 minutes on high heat and then turn it down to 180 for an hour and a half. The first vegetable we're going to prep is the roast potatoes. For that, we need the baking tray, liberal amounts of olive oil, mix in some butter, not too much, it'll burn. This is going to go into the oven that is blasting away right now on top heat so that the fat gets a chance to heat up. Right, this goes in the oven now. While the oil for the roast potatoes is heating, we'll prepare the potatoes by parboiling them. So first, halve them and add them to a pan of cold water. Salt, Once all your potatoes are halved or quartered depending on the size, they go into the cold water. Once it reaches the full boil, you leave it for a couple of minutes, then switch off and drain, and you're set. Potatoes are ready. Switch off the heat. It's a good idea to leave them in the colander to drain. They'll continue cooking in the steam. Give it a good shake and add to the fat. Did the camera get that sizzle? These are going to go into the oven for about half an hour, and then we're going to remove them, baste them and smash them to increase the surface area. Now for the smash. Smooth potato with broccoli bits popping out. Okay, we're going to use the stalks, which are full of nutrition. We're going to be reserving the florets for the steamed broccoli because they look pretty, but actually the nutrition is all over the broccoli. Cold salted water, in go all the stalks. We won't be serving the stalks in the steamed broccoli, but normally you can. Now in go the potatoes. I'm putting this on pressure cook for 2 whistles. I'm going to make the broccoli now. I'm going to cook it to al dente so that it's nice and luscious and crispy and has all its nutrients intact. I'm going to reserve some broccoli for the smash. So let's go with the more full florets for the steamed and leave the rest for the smash. Salt the water and bring to a boil. The bubbles are starting to form. It's time to add in all the broccoli. Cover, wait for it to reach a full boil and then switch off. That's just about right. Switch it off. Drain and reserve. Just before serving, run it through some hot water. Add a blob of butter because it's Christmas, and of course, season with salt and pepper. Now I will drain the potatoes and the broccoli stalks. Return back to the pan. Add the florets to cook in the remaining steam. You'll need to recover the pressure cooker. I'll leave that standing till I'm ready to serve. In the meantime, I'll make the buttered peas and carrots. These are frozen peas that I have soaked in water to defrost, and these are the lovely Indian carrots I told you all about that we need to slice. Don't make them too fat, don't make them too thin either, because you want to have a little bit of bite. Add a generous dollop of butter, dash of olive oil to prevent it from burning. Add the carrots first, as they will take longer to cook than the peas. Now that they're sizzling, lower the heat and cover to allow them to caramelize. Oh look! We're already getting nice brown bits. Get some more butter to baste the tops. It's a good idea to do this a couple of times during the process so that you just get an even sort of crunch. I'm now going to try a Jamie Oliver trick. Since they're already started cooking, I'm going to smash them to increase the surface area with a potato smasher. Oh yeah, brilliant. Lightly smash them. This increases the surface area and enables more crispiness. Now just sprinkle the rosemary on top. Salt and pepper. Salt is a good conductor of heat. That chicken is beginning to smell lovely. Right, let's check on the carrots. There's enough fat right now, so I'm not going to add any water. But if you have added less fat at this stage, you might want to add a dash of water. I'm just going to see how this goes along. Ooh la la. Now that is going to make an amazing gravy. You can tell right away. Blasting it in the high heat in the beginning really does the trick. Till I learned that, for years I was struggling to get an even brown. This is lovely. Alright, in it goes again. Carrots are boiling. Let's test one. It's still pretty hard, but it might be a good idea to get the peas in there right now. I'm going to season this now lightly with salt and pepper. Cover, leave to cook. Check the carrots. I'll leave it to cook now uncovered so that the water can evaporate. By that time that happens, it will be perfectly ready. I'm going to make the smash now, but before that, I'm going to check the chicken. Food safety guidelines say both white meat and dark meat should reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, chicken's done. So I'm just going to baste the chicken a little bit and then I'm going to leave it to rest for about 20 minutes. Cover with foil. This time shiny side down because we want the heat to go in this way. I like to call that putting the chicken to bed. Right, time for smash. You can see it's still steaming. Big blob of butter, a dash of milk, salt, and pepper. See the way the stalks are smashing in, but the florets are staying whole. Both my niece and my nephew love smash. Good idea to taste. And seriously, I'm not doing this for camera. It's perfect. The seasoning, the milk, the butter, it's just right. The chicken has been resting for about 20 minutes. It's time to get the potatoes. Oh wow, look at that. Swirl them around in the fat. I used to make these potatoes using minimal fat and they never came out golden crispy and I could not understand why. This is why. Set this aside for the gravy. I'm going to use the juice of this orange in the gravy as well, as I mentioned before. Okay, to carve the chicken, make a slit in the skin. Pull the leg away from the body and cut along the joint. Now the other one, find the bone. You can separate the leg and the thigh, but I'm going to keep it whole for today. And slide the knife along the breastbone. One piece you want to have with the wing. So now this is optional. All these little bits of chicken you can either sprinkle around or you can reserve for sandwiches or stock. The best piece of the chicken, the most tender piece of meat, is something called the oyster. Right here, you simply just pop it out. Succulent meat. I'm going to make the gravy now. I will use the orange in the gravy. The fennel can go. It's done its job. It's a lovely aroma the whole kitchen is filled with. Tilt the pan and drain off. Make sure you get all the yummy bits. Some people say you should separate the fat and the chicken juices. I like just cooking up both together. Add some flour. The action of the flour is just as a thickening agent. I'm using stock, which I made from my last batch of roast chicken. Orange. Some people like their gravy thick, some people like it thin. I like mine just like about a medium consistency. And because we're using the orange that is all nice and pulpy, I'm happy with the chicken bits in it. That orange really makes it a tropical Christmas. Amazing! I'm Natasha Sharma of FoodSpeak, wishing all my lovelies a Merry Christmas. Have a blessed day. I will see you every Friday with a new episode in the fantastic new year. Do remember to subscribe now, press the bell icon to get pinged on Fridays and follow me on Instagram at foodspeak.in. Have a fantastic, glorious festive season. I will see you in 2019.